Toronto voters have their say. John Tory is re-elected as mayor. The mayor's main rival, Jennifer Keesmaat, goes down in defeat.
Mr. Tory has worked hard.
And a shock in Brampton, Patrick Brown is the new mayor. Humber News starts now. Hello, welcome to this very special edition of Humber News Toronto Elects 2018. We're coming to you from Humber College's North Campus with all of the angles on the city's election. The big story across Toronto is John Tory coming back as mayor for a second term. He beat his main rival, Jennifer Keesmaat, by 300,000 votes. Harjaz Badial was at Tory headquarters for the big win.
It was a jubilant crowd at John Tory's victory celebration last night, once his win became official. In the end, it wasn't even close. The crowd gathered at the Sheraton Centre Hotel in downtown Toronto as Tory defeated former Chief City Planner Jennifer Keesmaat by over 300,000 votes to secure his second term as mayor.
The racists and the peddlers of hate, they have no place in this city, and they have...
The former CFL commissioner and lawyer says he wants to help reduce the spike in gun violence in Toronto and make the city more affordable to everyone.
And ultimately it takes a lot of... So people from every single income group will be able to live here and work here in our great city of Toronto.
Many people support Tory because of all the support Tory gives to them and their social groups, like Canadian Boxing Hall of Famer Spider Jones.
When I came back from a prison tour was John Tory. And while most of the rest of the media weren't interested in what was going on inside the prisons, the way they rehabilitate these people so they wouldn't end up going back. So those are the reasons. Plus, I like his policies. I think John's an honorable man. He's a man of his word, and he's a man that has vision for our future. And he's a man that loves this city.
I work out of the Ontario Black History Society, which is downtown Toronto, and John Tory has supported our office for over 10-15 years. Even before John got into politics, he's always supported Ontario Black History Society. Now people don't know about this because he doesn't want people to know what he does behind the scenes. But I'm telling you, behind the scenes, John Tory always backs Ontario Black History Society.
John Tory will officially begin his second term as mayor on December 4th. Tory's looking forward to continue to improve the city of Toronto with a now smaller city council. But a third term is not out of question just yet. That's all from me. Back to Corey.
Thanks, Harjaz. For Tory's main rival, Jennifer Keesmaat, a very different story. She went down to defeat, winning just over 23% of the vote, but she was also looking to the future. Mayor Farouk Khan was with the Keesmaat campaign.
The result wasn't what supporters of Jennifer Keesmaat were hoping for, but despite the crushing loss to her former boss, she was gracious in defeat.
I sincerely congratulate John Tory on his victory. Mr. Tory has worked hard his whole life in political office, and I'm sure that our mayor will return to office determined to make his time there count.
Keesmaat worked on master plans in Toronto, Vancouver, Mississauga, and more before eventually becoming Chief City Planner of Toronto in 2012. Her platform reflected what she felt were the critical issues people are facing in every corner of the city.
And really start thinking about the ways that I will contribute to the city in the future.
That includes affordable housing, the need for public transit that actually reaches every corner of the city, and to make the city streets safer.
She's passionate about staying engaged with the people in this city, all across this city, who are raising critical issues about the future of Toronto. Because if we want Toronto to succeed as a city, we're going to have to tackle those problems.
For some of the crowd, it wasn't an easy night.
I'm disappointed. I was hoping for a magic figure of 30%. I knew that Jennifer wasn't really going to win. There's a lot of inertia. A lot of people thought, Tory had done a good job, but I thought Jennifer would do a better job.
Although she finished a distant second, Keesmaat was optimistic for the future. She said she will continue working on the issues her team were so passionate about.
We've always been a place where you can arrive with just your suitcase and $200 from anywhere and build a life in this city. And we want to continue to hold on to that moving forward. I'm not going to give up working on it. And I hope you don't give up either.
After the election, one thing is for certain. Keesmaat has established a strong voter base. Corey, there's been speculation that Keesmaat may be running for the vacant Ontario Liberal leadership. I also asked one of Keesmaat's senior officials what's next for Keesmaat, and they responded by saying, just rest for now, but in 4 years' time, she may run again.
Thanks, Sumer. Some quick numbers for you on the election. There were 35 people running for mayor, and this time the city was electing 25 councillors. That's down from 47 after the Ford government reduced the size of city council. The projected voter turnout was 41%. That's down from 2014 when the turnout was 55%. Let's turn to Brampton now. In a surprise upset, Linda Jeffrey lost as mayor. Former PC leader Patrick Brown was victorious. Darina Sarhan reports.
Thank you, everybody. Friends, tonight's results were not what any of us, I think, expected. We fought a hard and challenging race. I want to congratulate Patrick Brown as our city's new mayor.
On the other side, Patrick Brown, who entered the campaign at the last minute, came out on top in a win that stunned people across the GTA. It was a remarkable comeback after Brown was ousted last winter as provincial opposition leader over sexual assault allegations. A tough night for Linda Jeffrey. Jeffrey's tenure as mayor lasted just one term. This time around, she got under 43,000 votes. Brown was just ahead of her with under 47,000 votes, which was about 44% of the votes. For Jeffrey supporters, it was a night of tears and regrets. They even comforted Jeffrey as she left the hall after a very bad night. So, it's been a surprising turnout of events last night. Meanwhile, Patrick Brown says he won because he ran a positive campaign, and he's thankful to the people in Brampton that rallied to his side. Now back to Corey.
Thanks, Darina. We're going to take a quick break. Still ahead, more on last night's election winners. Welcome back to the special edition of Humber News Toronto Elects 2018. Let's turn to the races for City Council, starting with Ward 1, where a candidate with a familiar name had a good night. Catellia Wright was at Michael Ford's victory party.
That was great. Friends, without further ado, the new councillor in the new ward, Ward 1, Michael Ford.
It was a night of celebration for the Ford family, with Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, proudly introducing his nephew, Michael. Ford defeated council incumbent Vincent Crisanti with 42% of the vote. Crisanti trailed with 34%. Ford promised to work hard to bring jobs and economic growth to Etobicoke North.
We have a number of priorities. I think what we need to do is make sure that we have an affordable city where people can continue to live here and I like to say live, work, and play in our city. That is very important to me. Making sure that we're bringing critical investments to Etobicoke North and good paying jobs into our community, as well as keeping our community safe. You know, Doug has been a mentor for me for my whole life, and he's always given me advice and support along the way. You know, one of the things that Rob, Doug, my grandfather have done, and I am absolutely committed to doing and continuing to do, is serve our constituents at their doors. And that is a big part of our commitment to Etobicoke.
So, Corey, dramatic night in Ward 1 last night. Michael Ford told me he's already planning his next 100 days in office. That includes new community projects. Now I'll throw it back to you, Corey.
Thanks, Catellia. Michael Ford was a big winner, but there were plenty of losses as well, and some big names were on that list. Vincent Crisanti from Ward 1, John Campbell from Ward 2, Frank DiGiorgio from Ward 5, Maria Ojameri from Ward 6, and Giorgio Mamaliti from Ward 7. Continuing with that list, Joe Mahevic from Ward 12, Lucy Troist from Ward 13, Mary Fragidakis from Ward 14, John Burnside from Ward 15, Michelle Holland from Ward 20, and Norm Kelly from Ward 22. Out of all those names, one of the biggest to fall was Giorgio Mamaliti. Mamaliti was arguably the most controversial member of the council. He once compared his constituents in the Jane and Finch neighborhood to cockroaches. Mamaliti lost to Anthony Perusa in Ward 7. Christian Aguirre was with the winner and has this report.
Many rejoiced when Anthony Peruza was re-elected councillor in the new Ward 7 Humber River Black Creek. Peruza faced a tough race when the wards changed. However, he came out on top, beating runner-up Georgie Mamolidi.
I want to make the next 4 years down at City Hall, the next 4 years of my mandate, about young people.
Peruza's supporters gathered inside the local Unifor chapter in North York to be with the candidate and celebrate his victory.
What we really heard from people at the door was about neighborhood issues, street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood. The kinds of things that people care about, you know, is their road broken? Is their park, you know, it needs upgrading? The conditions of the neighborhood, you know, do they feel safe there? You know, those things. And I think our message resonated with people.
Peruza's campaign manager and local candidate for school trustee spoke with Humber News about the campaign's challenges.
We canvassed a lot more. Yeah. It was really simple as that. It just had to get bigger really quickly. And it sounds simple, but it becomes really difficult because the magnitude of it is really significant. But you know, we canvassed every single house at least 4 or 5 times, which I don't think any other campaign in Toronto can probably say it.
Some of Peruza's most popular policies include the increasing of public transit to Toronto's York region, banning firearms to reduce crime, and improving local parks.
Peruza has been representing his community since 1997, and he will now represent a much bigger ward. And with that come much bigger challenges. Back to you, Corey.
Thanks, Christian. Another race we were watching was downtown in Toronto Centre. Kristen Wong-Tam was the winner, and our own Terrence Bashindale was there.
Crowds gathered around Ward 13 councillor Kristen Wong-Tam after her big win. She waved and shook hands with her supporters. In a speech, the councillor thanked everyone who helped her get elected to her 3rd term.
I want to first of all thank the voters and the residents of Toronto Centre for supporting our positive vision and progressive value-based campaign.
Wong-Tam managed to beat 18 other candidates to win her Toronto Centre ward seat. Supporters of the newly elected ward leader were passionate about their support for Wong-Tam.
Being a queer person myself, Wong-Tam has honestly led me to the life that I've allowed myself to have. Without people like her, I wouldn't be able to live the way that I did. Wong-Tam has really shown positivity in politics ever since she's been elected.
We not only have somebody who fights for those of us with disabilities, but somebody who fights for those of us in the LGBT community.
Affordable housing is what Wong-Tam says she will focus on during her first 100 days. As a member of the LGBTQ community, Wong-Tam says she's voicing her concerns over the current sex ed curriculum to address modern issues. Excitement erupted the moment she was announced as the winner. People in attendance was in support of Wong-Tam's agenda. Now back to Corey.
Thanks, Terrence. That's it for the special edition of Humber News Toronto Elects 2018. I'm Corey Lobo. From all of us at Humber News, thanks for watching.